salty food intake ko sa yung matataba. Ngayon, ang tanong ko po, yung mga Pilipino ay nagtatabaan dahil sa mga fast food. So, pwede po ba natin i-mandate o yung mga fast food chain na i-formulate nila yung mga products nila na bawasan yung kasi bawasan yung taba para bumaba yung taba.
We wish we could do it, no? Pero that's why we have to start somewhere. Yeah.
Ang question ni Sir, nandun na siya sa fast food.
Oo, sa fast food.
No, na reformulation. Which is, I think, tama naman po talaga, no? Kasi matataba rin talaga, oily, kumbaga yung mga pagkain po na ito. Sige. Ayun, hindi po sa akin ang galing yan. Pero sabi niyo nga. Jel mo natin.
Yung sa fast food natin, yung mga nasa restaurants natin, it's actually very challenging to implement, but we can start somewhere. I would like to cite an example, yung Quezon City, meron silang calorie labeling. It doesn't mandate the food businesses to reformulate yung mga menus nila, but we hope that yung calorie labeling would something that will encourage the food businesses to reformulate their food products. Kasi kapag kumain ka sa isang fast food, makikita mo, oh my God, ito palang isang meal na to, 750 calories na. So, hindi na ako kakain. Or yung isang iced coffee, for example, ayun, wala akong brand na sinabi. Pagtingin mo, ano na pala siya? Almost 1,000 calories na, yung malaking size. So, kung 2,000 lang yung requirements mo. So, this kind of policy will trigger or will encourage yung ating mga food businesses or yung ating mga restaurants to reformulate. There are instances na nangyari po ito sa ibang bansa, but more on like I think mga European countries. So, let's support yung mga ganitong klaseng policy.
Ano pa rin?
Tama naman po yun. I think yun yung mga pinaka-feasible and cost-effective interventions. Kasi hindi mo naman talaga ma-address lahat. So I think yung una talaga, sabi ni Sir kanina, hindi niya alam. So really informing the public kung ano yung laman ng pagkain sa restaurants and sa processed food. So yung pagbigay lang ng information na yun, malaki na yung effect niya. So baka yun yung kailangan din natin tingnan kung ano yung on how we can do that. And second, I think many countries already started providing incentives to like SMEs and establishments to shift. So instead of mandating it, so nagbigay sila ng grants, for example, to shift. So I think parang multi-prong yung ginagawa nila, hindi lang for reformulation lahat. So what if we start providing incentives so we can shift? That's a supply side intervention. May demand side intervention, giving information to the public. So, I think baka parang multi-pronged dapat po, and yung education really is important. And, providing a simple way of informing the public through like color traffic lights or warnings, etc. This is really a very good and a good first step. Thank you.
With regards to education, I agree with everyone. Super important yung educating the population. But I think with yung kagandahan ng bill na to is regardless of whether you are educated or not educated about the risks of high salt, you will benefit from the bill. I think yun yung kagandahan. And with regards to yung incentives, I think it's possible na just knowing how much salt you're getting from one brand of, let's say, Pancit Canton versus another, meron kaagad demand side changes na ano yung mas pipiliin mo just because it's healthy. And it's happening in different countries as well. So yun po, and ang gusto ko lang actually, kaya lang din ako nag-base na kasi lagi kong napag-usapan yung population level approaches. Ang nakakatuwa dito sa public health, sa population level interventions, hindi po kasi pare-parehas lahat ng tao. Meron sa atin, siguro ilan sa atin dito yung kumakain ng pancit canton, I would say, pwede mo taas na kamay. Oh. So hindi lahat, di ba? Hindi lahat. Definitely, iba-iba din po yung dami ng pancit canton na kinakain natin araw-araw. So, ang sinasabi ko lang po, meron po talagang mga taong makukulit. Kahit anong sabi ng doktor, hindi magbabago. Gusto niya. Bakit natin babaguhin? So, yung mga ganun, hindi natin mababago. Meron naman ding super healthy, nagbabasa lagi ng nutrition facts. And instantly, they would benefit. Pero yung mga gusto natin talaga mahuli, kaya natin sinasabing population level, is yung majority makikinabang ba? Kasi merong minority na hindi makikinabang. Yes, totoo yun. Pero hindi ibig sabihin na titigil na tayo to aim to benefit the majority. So, itong sodium reformulation, hindi niya masasagot lahat ng problema natin. But it would definitely address a big part of the high sodium consumption problem. Bakit?
Gusto ko mag-add ko sa sinabi nito. Really, the sodium reformulation, it's about making the environment healthier. Para yung burden, hindi na nasa consumer, automatic yung bibilhin niya. Kung hindi talaga mapigilan na kumain ng pancit canton or ng prepackaged food, automatic yung bibilhin na is lesser yung sodium once we implement or once we have this policy. So it's making the food environment healthier and not putting the burden on the consumers. So yun lang yung gusto kong i-add para hindi tayo rin nakapokus doon sa education, because we have different, kagaya ng sinabi nito, iba-iba yung demographics ng mga Filipinos. So let's not put the burden to them. Let's create a healthier food environment para easier na sa mga Pilipino.
Pwede bang i-mandate na lang na